Three signs. Your lungs are filled with mucus. Number 1, you're constantly coughing up phlegm. Number 2, you sound like a tractor when you breathe in. Number 3, you're having difficulty sleeping. So, how do you fix this? Right here is an ancient natural remedy, mullein oil.
Here, the citric acid rabbit hole continues. So we now know that the citric acid that's used by this company, as well as 99% of all products, is in fact black mold. I want to show you some of the trickery involved with how this product is sold. 99% of the time, you will see this advertised as a lemon product.
The flood is the event that takes place in Genesis that essentially works as a reset for the whole world. At the time, it says that every single thought of man was evil, but the only righteous was Noah and his family, to which Noah built an ark and was saved from the flood itself. The flood also answers several questions, not only about history, but how things are described to have worked in the Old Testament. Without spending a ton of time on it, according to the Bible, whenever God created the earth, he put a firmament or ring of water around the earth.
If you're looking for a quick and easy chicken wing recipe, you should definitely try these Cajun buffalo wings. They were so good.
On today's episode of We Got Food at Home, honey, let's make some bomb Cajun chicken pasta. First, you're going to season your meat. I use Sazon, garlic powder, Creole seasoning, adobo, chicken rub, Cajun seasoning, smoked paprika, and just add a little oil. Once your noodles are cooking, you can either pan sear your chicken.
So I was today years old when I discovered
Three signs. Your lungs are filled with mucus. Number 1, you're constantly coughing up phlegm. Number 2, you sound like a tractor when you breathe in. Number 3, you're having difficulty sleeping. So, how do you fix this? Right here is an ancient natural remedy, mullein oil, also known as verbascum thapsus. For centuries, it's been celebrated as a natural lung detoxifier. Mullein helps melt the bonds between your lungs and your mucus, letting you cough out months of toxic mucus buildup. Just 10 to 15 drops a day for a week helps with the removal of damaged cells from the smoke and air pollution you inhale. This is pure mullein oil, and you can find it in my bio.
The flood is the event that takes place in Genesis that essentially works as a reset for the whole world. At the time, it says that every single thought of man was evil, but the only righteous was Noah and his family, to which Noah built an ark and was saved from the flood itself. The flood also answers several questions, not only about history, but how things are described to have worked in the Old Testament. Without spending a ton of time on it, according to the Bible, whenever God created the earth, he put a firmament or ring of water around the earth. This not only would oxygenate the atmosphere, but would also protect people from things like UV rays. This would be the explanation of why characters like Adam and Methuselah in the Old Testament lived to be over 900 years old. So whenever the flood came, the firmament simply collapsed in on the earth, which is also why there was enough water to cover everything.
One of the oldest Bibles to exist is the Ethiopian Bible. What if I told you that Christianity was already thriving in Africa years before it ever even spread to Europe? What if I told you that what you've been taught about Christianity is an absolute lie? Today we are going full Da Vinci Code. We are cracking all the myths and diving deep into a part of history that's been overlooked for far too long. Things that our traditional school system has distorted and deliberately kept from us. Most people think Christianity spread from Jerusalem to Rome and then branched out to the rest of Europe, right? But let's rewind the clock back nearly 2,000 years. Let's start in Africa instead, where the Apostle Mark, a companion of Peter, started the Christian community in Egypt in around 42 AD. That's way before the Papal Palace was even a blueprint in Rome. And have you ever heard of the Kingdom of Aksum? It's in modern-day Ethiopia. By the 4th century, King Izana, who converted to Christianity, made it the official state religion, making Aksum one of the earliest states to officially adopt the faith. Even the coins ruins from Aksum serve as ancient proof of a Christian kingdom in Africa centuries before the Vikings even thought about converting. Even some of the key figures who helped shape early Christian doctrine were Africans. People like Tertullian and St. Augustine were heavyweights of early Christian thought, and they were both from North Africa. The ancient Egyptian desert monks were the earliest Christian hermits, ascetics, and monastics who lived primarily in the Seti's desert of Egypt beginning around the 3rd century AD. Even the concept of the Holy Trinity itself was also first articulated in Africa. Africans weren't just bystanders, they were the architects of foundational Christian teachings. The parallels between the story of Jesus Christ in Christianity and the myths and legends of gods in ancient civilizations like Egypt have been a topic of study and debate for centuries. Osiris, the Egyptian god of the afterlife, was murdered and resurrected by his wife, Isis. The notion of resurrection in Osiris' story has been compared to the resurrection of Jesus. Isis, who is the mother of Horus and the wife of Osiris, is often depicted holding Horus in a manner reminiscent of the Christian Madonna and Child. Like Mary, Isis is also considered a divine mother figure and is highly revered. Horus was believed to have been born through a miraculous divine process to Isis. His life includes several events that are similar to the events of the life of Jesus, like teachings and miracles, for example. And Egyptian mythology has been the main belief structure and underlying form of ancient Egyptian culture since at least 4000 BCE. That's 4,000 years before Christ even existed. But this isn't just history. This is a revolution in how we understand the roots of a religion that has billions of followers today. Africa isn't the sideline of Christian history. It's the center stage and always has been. So the next time someone talks about the roots of Christianity, remember the vibrant tapestry of its African history. And don't ever forget that the idea of separateness is but an illusion.
If you don't know who this gentleman is, well, you're about to find out. I actually did a video on this craft up here, the SR-71. And now so you guys can see for yourself the NASA documents on flat Earth. We don't live on a ball. There's a thing called firmament. So yeah, run that video, comment below. And this is for educational purposes only. Do share this with someone you love, care, and respect. Run it.
This plane, in and of itself, the SR-71, proves that we're not on an oblate spheroid that spins. The Lockheed can fly at a max height of Mach 3 and flies at an insanely high altitude. Now, if the Lockheed can go over 2,000 miles an hour, how much curvature should it have to account for to stay at the same altitude? Top speed, again, is 2,200 miles an hour. Let's just say there's 2,200 miles between point A and B. That would be 570 miles of curvature between the 2 points of reference. That'd mean that the Lockheed would have to be dipping 9.5 miles a minute, or 836 feet a second. Let's see what NASA thinks about planes flying over Earth. Derivation and definition of a linear aircraft model. Model of a rigid aircraft of constant mass flying over a flat, non-rotating Earth. It's gotta be the only one, right? It's gotta be the only one. A mathematical model of a CH-53 helicopter. The helicopter equations of motion are given in a body axis with respect to a flat, non-rotating Earth? If this is the first time you're hearing this, then you heard it here first, you know what I'm saying? The sun actually goes around our flat Earth like this, clockwise. It acts as a spotlight shining down onto the flat Earth that we live on. It gets closer and farther away, causing seasons from the North Pole. On its most inner declination around the North Pole, that's when Alaska can see 24 hours. On its most outer declination, that's when the Northern Hemisphere experiences winter. This is the equator. This dark line here going in a circle, that's the equator. Everything north, which is towards the North Pole, and everything south of the equator is the South Hemisphere. This is the Northern Hemisphere. Water, needs a container, dude. And I'll tell you what's containing all of the quadrillions of gallons of water in our ocean. Antarctica. It's actually an ice wall that encompasses us 360 degrees. And there's an Antarctic treaty written that says the 60th south latitude can't go past there. You'll die. Sea level. Seriously. Think about it. All the water's level. It's all at the same level. But I plan on starting a podcast to expose all of this and plenty more. So check out my bio, check out my link tree in my bio, click on my profile. I'm being censored on my main page, so that's why you're seeing me here. I'm kind of doing a test. So, but seriously, follow my Instagram, check out my link tree. Have a good day.
Did you know that turtles have the true calendar of Earth of their back?
This 1775 Bible shows that March is actually the first month of the year, and Sunday, yes, you heard right, is the first day of the week. Take a look.
And so this right here is the Bible from 1775 telling us at the time that we used to have 13 months. The first month of the year is March! Look at all the way to the end, guys. There's 13 months. 13 months. First day of the week, Sunday. Second day, Monday. Look at that. Seventh day or Sabbath, Saturday. This is the proof right here.
I've always been a curious soul, but not in the way you'd expect from scholars or historians. My explorations take place from the comfort of my own home, often late into the night, guided by the soft glow of my laptop screen. This is how I ended up watching a video by Mark Pyers on his channel, Mark Inspires. What I discovered there sent me straight down a rabbit hole. Mark presented an old Bible from 1775, and it wasn't the antiquity of the book that caught my attention, it was the content. According to this Bible, the first month of the year is March, and each week begins on a Sunday. I paused the video. Sunday as the first day? March as the first month? That's not what any calendar I've ever hung on my wall has shown. The curiosity in me sparked. I wondered, if what I was looking at was true, why did everything change? Who decided to flip the script and shift the months around? And why does it feel like we might be out of step with the rhythm that was once so ingrained in our culture that it was worth printing in the good book itself? It was like finding a piece in a puzzle that I didn't know was missing. The more I thought about it, the more questions arose. What if the holidays we celebrate, the ones we've been told were based on ancient traditions, were actually aligned with a different rhythm, one dictated by this forgotten calendar? Take Christmas, for instance, often said to be a rebranding of pagan festivities. If we were following this old system, where would that leave December 25th? Would it hold the same meaning if it didn't coincide with the winter solstice as neatly as it does now? Could this alternative arrangement of time affect not just holidays, but our everyday lives? I'm not an academic with a wall of degrees, but that night, I felt a responsibility to learn more. There was a sense that by understanding the past, by peeling back the layers of changes and adaptations, I might find something essential. Something about how we connect with the universe, with each other, and how we find our place within the cycles that govern our existence. And so, I began a journey, one not through dusty library shelves or ancient ruins, but through the digital realm of information, armed with a newfound determination. I was ready to see where this old Bible's tale would lead me and what it might reveal about the world we think we know so well. Discovering that Sunday might actually be the starting point of the week necessitates a serious reconsideration of cultural and religious norms. It presents the startling idea that the day we traditionally dedicate to rest and religious observance could indeed be Saturday. Such a perspective carries weighty implications for contemporary religious customs, hinting that widespread practices might not align with this historical viewpoint. Astrologically, the impact of such a shift cannot be understated. Each day's energies are traditionally tied to a celestial body, which, according to astrological systems, can influence human affairs. Misalignment between our constructed week and this celestial ordering might disrupt the intended flow of cosmic energies into daily life. For adherents of astrology, this calls into question the very foundation of their practice, suggesting a need for a thorough reassessment of how days and their corresponding planetary energies are observed and honored. This raises the fundamental question: who was it that altered the configuration of our week, thereby altering the fabric of our lives? The catalyst for such a change is not immediately evident. It may have been an incremental process influenced by the shifts in religious and secular authorities over the millennia. or it might have been an intentional move to distance contemporary practice from ancient traditions.
One of the things Constantine did was because he wanted the pagans to worship God, Jehovah, was he moved the day of worship to the day of the sun, which is why we now worship on Sunday, because Sunday became a pagan day.
One thing is clear. There seems to be a deliberate discrepancy between our current temporal structure and that of historical records, though the motivations behind this are still veiled in mystery. The departure from the calendrical structure as outlined in the 1775 Bible could imply that many facets of our daily existence are misaligned with both historical precedent and perhaps celestial design. This misalignment extends to significant dates of observance. The timing of festivities such as Christmas and Easter, for instance, might not truly reflect their original intent or season. Contemplating a realignment with this historic calendar suggests the possibility of returning to a way of life that is more authentic, perhaps closer to spiritual principles that have been overshadowed over time. It prompts us to consider whether a shift in observance to align with historical records could reconnect us to a spiritual authenticity that has been eroded. This discourse is not merely about adherence to religious rules or speculative astrological theories. It centers on our alignment with a natural and cosmic order that may predate contemporary calendars. Choosing to follow this route is about much more than date correction. It's a quest to uncover a harmony with the natural world that may have been lost. As we delve further into the contents of this ancient text, we have to wonder what further insights they may offer, and in what ways these could revolutionize our current understanding of time, spirituality, and our place within the cosmos. This exploration is not only fascinating, but has the potential to be profoundly life-altering. The 1775 Bible, which intriguingly outlines a calendar year starting with March and comprising 13 months, hints at a bygone era's intimate dance with the cosmos. This historical artifact opens a window to explore how our ancestors perceived time and its connection to cosmic energy and planetary alignments. Historically, calendars were not just tools for marking days, they were intricately linked to the movements of celestial bodies. This relationship was seen in the meticulous attention early civilizations paid to the skies. The enigmatic Stonehenge is a prehistoric testament to this, aligned with the solstices, points in the year that mark the sun's most extreme positions in the sky. In the context of the 1775 Bible, the shifted calendar may point to a forgotten alignment with natural cycles. If March marked the new year, it coincided with the vernal equinox, a time of balance when day and night are of equal length, symbolizing renewal and rebirth in many cultures. This could suggest a time when people were more in tune with the rhythms of nature, aligning their lives with the equinoxes and solstices which were critical to agricultural societies. The choice of a 13-month calendar could also reflect a closer alignment with lunar cycles. Traditional lunar calendars, used by cultures like the Hebrews, base their months on the moon's phases, resulting in a year of 12 or 13 months to maintain synchronicity with the solar year. This system is rooted in the observable energy shifts that accompany the transition from one lunar phase to another, which ancient peoples believed influenced agricultural and human cycles. Furthermore, planetary alignments have long been observed and respected. The 7-day week is an enduring legacy of such celestial considerations, with each day corresponding to one of the 7 classical planets known to the ancients. The 1775 Bible's depiction of Sunday as the week's first day underscores this connection, resonating with the sun's position of primacy in our solar system. The study of the calendar in the 1775 Bible might reveal more than a mere historical curiosity. It may uncover a lost understanding of time that honored cosmic energy more explicitly than our modern system. It opens questions about how this alignment affected societal behavior, religious observances, and the general worldview of the time. The blending of pagan traditions with Christian holidays is a topic that stirs much debate, especially when we delve into the origins of Christmas. To understand this amalgamation, we need to travel back to the early centuries of Christianity. It wasn't until the 4th century that the church officially proclaimed December 25th as the birth date of Jesus, a date that conveniently coincided with the Roman festival of Saturnalia and the pagan celebration of the winter solstice. These festivals were times of merrymaking, social reversal, and, most importantly, celebrating the return of the sun, Saturnalia for the Romans and Yule for the Germanic peoples. The church's decision to place Christmas during this
If you're looking for a quick and easy chicken wing recipe, you should definitely try these Cajun buffalo wings. They were so good. Add your chicken to a bowl along with 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of Cajun seasoning. I got this Cajun seasoning from Dollar Tree. It's low in sodium and I really like it. Add 1 teaspoon of onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, and smoked paprika and give it a good mix. Place chicken in the air fryer and cook on 400 degrees for 25 minutes. Add 1/4 cup of buffalo sauce and 1 to 2 teaspoons of that Cajun seasoning. So good. Definitely make these. If you're
On today's episode of We Got Food at Home, honey, let's make some bomb Cajun chicken pasta. First, you're going to season your meat. I use Sazon, garlic powder, Creole seasoning, adobo, chicken rub, Cajun seasoning, smoked paprika, and just add a little oil. Once your noodles are cooking, you can either pan sear your chicken or stick them in the air fryer for about 20 minutes. That part is totally up to you because they're still going to come out bomb and juicy just like this. Next, you're going to work on your sauce. Get you some butter, some garlic, and some cream cheese. Give it a good stir. Then add your heavy whipping cream. And once it comes to a boil, season it to your liking and just add a little pasta water to make it creamy, okay? Then add your veggie and your cheese of your choice. I use spinach and mozzarella for mine. It's totally up to you as to what you want to use for your pasta. Honey, it's giving creamy. Then add your noodles. I added a little bit more seasoning to mine because it was not heating like it needed to, honey, because I be wanting my stuff to be tasty, all right? And then I chopped up my chicken in slices. And honey, y'all can tell me this chicken ain't giving juicy, okay? And remember, we got food at home, okay?